District 2 under Sheriff Bob Johnson. All right.
Put in a records request for something real quick. You probably have it on hand though.
Yeah, I'm gonna be at the main office.
Well, I can put it in with you. You can send it to them.
No.
Just take down. Yeah, Florida law works that way.
I got the law. I got the law in my book. If you gentlemen need to see it.
You call.
Yeah, all you gotta do is take down my email address and what I'm requesting and send it to them, and they'll send it to you.
We could.
You gotta pay for any documents and stuff like that. That's why you have to go to the main office.
Right. You got to pay for it.
If
Yeah.
I ask them to email it to me in a PDF form, I don't have to pay. I've done this a lot. Trust me. Don't ever trust anybody with this, except right now.
That makes no sense.
Oh, they got Almond Joy. Nice. My favorite.
Take a couple pieces of candy. That's dandy. It's nice to get it all set up for Halloween here. This is the Santa Rosa County. This is District 2.
This is what you guys cover here? Carter?
What's that?
That's all you guys cover?
No, this is just Navarre here. And this is just a little, then this might not even be all, no, yeah, that's it. That's State Park. This is State Park. And then this is the mainland where 98 is here. Okay.
Sorry, Nick, you got family down in Fort Myers?
I do.
Miramar?
No, I do not. Miramar Beach? That's pretty close. Nixon's a very popular name down here, but I'm not related to a lot of them.
He's in LEO too.
Oh, yeah, so there's a lot in the city as well.
Yeah.
My family's mostly from North Alabama.
Oh. It's a pretty part of the country, like in Alabama.
Yeah.
See, all I wanted really.
This will go nicely right here.
If you guys have that in PDF format.
Do you guys have any?
We were just talking about if policies or procedures were public record or not.
Yeah,
We
general
were
orders.
just literally talking to
You
somebody.
guys have any stickers like these?
You got better handwriting than me. Just write down what he wants.
Sure. Thank you, please.
You got it?
Sure.
I don't even have my title.
Thanks, Tim.
Do you gentlemen have any stickers like this? I collect them from all over the country when I go out.
There's one right over there.
There we go.
Oh, there we go.
That's kind of like.
So general orders or policies and procedures, whatever you guys call them here, and in a PDF form. Add a couple more things there. Names, badge numbers, and vehicle assignments for all deputies. And signal codes and 10 codes.
This is a cozy
Vehicle
little office.
assignments. There you go.
Look at that. I'm gonna pop that bad boy right there.
And signal codes and 10 codes. And my email is rights, RIGHTS, Crispy, CRISPY, at gmail.com.
CRISPY?
SPY, yes, at gmail.com. Thank you. That's it. You guys have crime to fight. Oh, is that activated?
Yes.
Okay,
Anytime
you
we
give
have-
me a copy of that as well, please? Thanks. Sergeant Nix's body cam for this.
Do you,
Non-incident, this consensual.
Yeah.
Has your department done First Amendment training on the right to record in public? Like I was just at the health department, and the lady there didn't want to be recorded. I told her it was a public lobby.
So you know, county and we're not all same type of training because obviously we're just law enforcement. All the training we've had, most of our stuff's what occurs here with our body cams. I don't know what kind of training they've had.
Okay. Well, the reason I was asking because, let's say if I'm in a building.
You got today's date.
This is 18.
Let's say if I'm in a building, a public building, and they say, oh, they called you guys, say, hey, these guys are in here recording.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys know how to handle that situation?
Yeah, we would obviously, we would respond and then get both sides of the story, try to figure out what's going on, but obviously if it's a public place where public eyes can be recorded.
Okay,
So-
That's
good,
good to
good.
hear that you would get both sides of
Yeah.
the story. Usually
Well,
it's just like.
And I bring
Because
home
you
with
never
the
know,
hearing,
and you
and
never
that's
know
it.
exactly what the circumstances are. Some people just see cameras and they might take it as somebody being aggressive towards them, and it
Right.
might not be that at all.
It's
Right.
the opposite of how we operate.
Yeah.
You can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How we've always.
Yeah, I try to make sure everybody knows, hey, I'm the press, I'm here to do a story, and I get it, you know, people
And
sometimes
they're
are
intimidated
uncomfortable.
by cameras too.
Right.
They don't, and they always, I mean, you never see good incidents published. You only see
Oh, yeah.
bad things.
Yeah, it
Well,
comes,
that's
comes
and
something
well,
that sets us apart.
And if you do publish the good things, they don't get the clicks or the
No, they
views,
don't.
that the things that,
yeah, but that doesn't matter because we're trying to show both sides to let the public know, hey, there is a good and there is a bad,
We
you
let the
know?
stars shine, snowflakes no.
Yeah.
I like you to be a good example to other agencies of how to behave, how to treat the citizenry that you're.
That's the way it should be.
As a matter of fact,
Yeah,
I did the city hall in Biloxi. They passed with flying colors.
Yeah.
They did such a
they
good
probably
job.
had that study or
Right,
training on it or
Right,
something
they
like
had
that.
training on
But
it.
you know, we,
Just email it to Adam.
our job is kind of
or
hard,
I'll-
you know, with all the
Thank
different
you.
complexes, all the different
Of
layers.
course, of
So
laws,
some
yeah.
things, some
Slip through
deputies
the
probably
cracks.
never dealt with before. Or
Right.
just being a rookie deputy or just
Okay,
being confronted with some type of obstacle that they're not familiar with. They don't know how to get through it exactly. So
Right.
sometimes they force the way or sometimes they,
Well,
you know.
You could
I-
have a rookie deputy that spent 29 years in the Air Force as security police
I bring the
and
law.
still violate someone's rights.
Well, yeah, I mean, anybody can do any of that, but
You don't like working with bad apples, right?
no.
Help
Yeah,
me
but
help you.
that's the thing, I mean, that's what I tell everybody. Doesn't matter if you're a first grade teacher or clerk at Walmart.
Yeah.
You're gonna have good employees, you're gonna have bad employees.
But this job attracts certain people, and it's not about
Should be.
training, it's about hiring. You gotta make sure that you just don't hire anybody because you need bodies.
Oh,
I
And that's
get
why,
it.
you know, we go through an extensive background
Yeah.
check, you know, and then our applications day.
Yeah, and a 19-year-old kid that hasn't gotten in trouble yet can still be a sociopath looking to abuse that badge. So you gotta
I'll
keep
leave
your eye
my
on him.
cards there, so
Okay.
in case you guys do find anybody, because sometimes I know it's hard to complain
Right.
to the upper management, you know what I mean? Because I've been doing this for years, so
And we were lucky, we worked for a great sheriff and great
Yeah.
administration, they're really receptive of
Okay.
anything we've got.
'Cause I also
mean,
go
more
on-
or less, we really are.
I also go on LEO forums, and I read the comments from the officers, so I know all kinds of stuff that's going on in the department,
Yeah.
interrelationships.
So they have, I'm not in tune with that kind of stuff at all, I worry about my shift, my district.
Oh,
so-
you'd be surprised
not.
what they put out there in public. I mean, Seminole County, Florida, I knew that the captain gets drunk all the time in his police cruiser, okay? And they actually busted him. He was passed out at a stoplight.
I remember that.
Cops came,
And they let him
let him go. So I was captain, let him go. And they talked about it on the board. They said, "Oh, this guy's at
Oh,
I
they
think
talk
it's
about this
Chili's.
thing?
yeah,
This
yeah.
would like, is it like anonymous boards or something?
It is anonymous, so they, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah. So
I've done 3 stories on this agency already, and one of them, I'm sure you can't comment, they're in litigation, they're gonna sue you for millions of dollars. Because
Really?
you arrested a couple on felony theft charges,
Mm.
when they didn't even take anybody's dog, it was a dog. I don't know if you heard about that.
yeah.
Yeah, my wife's cousins were pulled over,
I was involved in
and that
that
one
too.
deputy smacking the door.
I was a sergeant who showed up on scene and spoke to,
Shelly.
yeah,
Yeah, so you know, that's my
Yeah.
wife's cousins.
okay,
She earned that Purple Heart.
Yeah.
It's not that she was asking to be entitled to some extra privilege. She was just trying to convey, hey, I get it, why you're, nervous. I was a veteran and I was shot with an RPG on the roadside, so I get it. But I mean, you know what, I haven't gotten out, I'm looking in the mirror. Just keeping an eye on my sister. She doesn't know where my new place is. She was following me there. I can't just leave her here.
Yeah.
Is
so
there a
it's
track?
all of it is very unfortunate.
Yeah, and then this latest one was Mike the Butcher. He works 70 hours a week at Winn-Dixie as a butcher. And he was as a passenger in the back seat of the car when his son-in-law was taking him back to work from his lunch break. And he gave his ID to your deputies. And then when they ran it, found nothing because he's never been in trouble with the law. They asked him again, he asked them why. They tackled this man to the ground. They hurt his back, he has fused vertebrae.
I'm
Mike
familiar with that
Holden,
one.
yeah, that happened.
I'm not familiar with
And
that one.
he went to court. He was gonna fight this and go to trial and everything. And your 2 deputies didn't show up to court. Anybody else would have
Does
had
it
a
have to do with
KPS
the
writ.
bar?
Well, no, Milton.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that at all.
Yeah,
No.
they didn't show up. They said that they were down in South Florida for hurricane relief. And I mean, any one of us would have gotten a KPS writ put on us. you know?
Okay.
They didn't show up to court, you know?
I'm familiar with that.
Mm.
I'm not familiar with the case, but I'm familiar with them being down there for the hurricane.
So sort of tighten up the screws, man. You know what I mean? Like, say, hey, look, guys, I don't want this attention anymore. And if you're gonna do something, don't do it in front of me. And no more thin blue line. You know,
That's
let's
right.
stop
For the
you know,
people.
covering each
For
other
the people.
and get rid of the bad
Because
apples.
the American public wants to support the police, right? They want to support them because we need them. Everybody knows we need the police. We don't want murderers and rapists out there
Sure.
running around.
And I teach
But
my
when-
kids the difference between good ones and bad ones, and I want them to look at you with respect instead of fear.
Yeah, but when you have bad police, that makes your job harder because now they're releasing criminals onto the
I
street.
don't know if they need
Finn.
that.
Yeah,
I don't know if they need that for
if
the
they do
request,
the
or
job
if they
wrong,
don't.
and they go to court,
No, I can
then,
do it anonymously,
it
but
can
you
get
can-
thrown
you
out
can say I'm
because
Finn.
they didn't know the law or they didn't do the job the
I
right
didn't know.
way. You know,
I
so it
see.
hurts
Right
all of
there.
us, not just in the lawsuits that take
Alright, I sent that
hundreds of
email.
millions of
Thank you.
dollars, you know,
Stay
every
safe.
year. And probably not in Santa Rosa County, but in a place like New York City, there's been $1 billion a year in lawsuits for civil rights
I'm
violations.
sorry,
You know,
I didn't hear the last part. I didn't hear the last.
I'm sending the email, I just didn't know if I needed.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Thank you. Brother.
so yeah, we want good police, right? We need good police. That's the whole thing. So
Bad police cost our taxpayers
yeah,
a lot of
did you
dollars in
see
lawsuits.
just Monday? I think the police in Mobile, Alabama, had a guy handcuffed. He's down on his knees, handcuffed behind his back. Cops over his back, just wailing on his
I
head.
didn't see that.
Oh my God, it's bad.
I try, I'm one of those ones that do not try to watch any bad news. Like if it's negative, I don't like negativity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything I try to read is try to be positive. So my news feeds on my X or Twitter, it's mostly always positive stuff. And if something negative pops up, I don't like watching. So I just like I say, don't show me this.
That's a
Same
good
here.
way.
I
Yeah.
create this. I go out and I look for negative things and I put it out there, but I look for positive things too, and that's what sets us both apart in
Yeah.
our community. We do want people
You
to be
say
good
both of y'all work
examples.
together?
Well, no.
We're
we
both
don't.
independent. We both
Gotcha.
have different channels, but
Okay.
we don't go out. We're not F you, F that.
Right.
You know, we're not
Trying to get
involving
you-
ourselves into the scene. We're not, trying to get involved in any way, and like I'll stay quiet. Like I'll go into a public building and I'll walk around. I'll look at the walls. I'll do whatever until somebody comes up and says, "Hey, you're not allowed to film here." Then I'm like, "No, I'm sorry. I am allowed to film here. I'm nice and calm and quiet." And then a lot of times people come and, well, they don't want you to be here, so you're going to have to leave.
We don't create the problems or the bad things. We document it though. We
Right.
document it, and hopefully your command
And that's
staff
why I
sees
asked you
where the
about
corrections need to be
The
made
the
from
the
your
training,
post.
because
You're supposed
when
to
a
do the
citizen
best of
is
it.
somewhere where they're allowed to be, they're allowed to record. And we know this is true because in Florida specifically, the wiretapping statute,
Mhm.
if I was to come in a building that the public's allowed to be in and I was recording secretly, there's no law against it. There's nothing you could do. So how can I do that secretly, but if I come in with this, all of a sudden I'm breaking the law?
Speaking of
It
which,
doesn't make any
the-
sense.
The policies and procedures or your general orders should be public, not tactical secrets that you would have to do, like how you make a dynamic entry or breach a door. But if you're allowed to turn on your lights to go through a red light when there's no active emergency, stuff like that. That would
If you're
be under
if you have to
what's
do your body
use of
cam.
force policy? What's your threat level matrix, 1 to 6? So we know if you step out of line, we the people can make that complaint. And I'll get your vehicle numbers and see who just cut me off. And
It
call
makes it
you
easier
and
during the
say, "Hey, this
complaint
guy's driving
process
like a
for
maniac.
IA.
He's
I
gonna
don't
get
know if
somebody
either of you
killed."
gentlemen have worked
And
IA,
that's happened. Neighbors
but
in California,
but
we
if
went
okay,
to
so
court,
if you get a
they
complaint
ignored us,
and it's
next
just
thing
somebody
you know,
that says,
deputy
"Oh,
ran
officer
over,
such and such
pretty much
violated my
deputy ran
rights
over
doing
and
this or
killed
doing
people.
that,"
You know?
and they don't show you anything, then it's
We've got a lot of equipment.
it's
we gotta
easy to
focus on
dismiss.
Yeah.
this.
But if you say
State
officer
focus,
such
head
and
on
such
Twitter.
violated policy and procedure number this and this, officer violated policy and procedure this and this, now the IA guy doesn't have to go and look to see if the officer violated. It's right there for him, so you can make a better and quicker decision and hopefully clear up some of IA's
I've
caseloads.
never been in IA.
Yeah.
Good,
I know
keep it
that
that
either.
way.
Well, no, I was asking them if they'd worked for IA,
Yeah.
if you
Or
had
work-
done
yeah,
any
that's
work
what I
for
meant,
IA.
work for IA.
Yeah, because I'm sure they get tons of complaints from tons of citizens all day long, and it's
Well,
just
usually they're fielded by the sergeant or the Lieutenant.
Okay, and what I was
And
saying
some
is,
of them are, I mean, we get complaints on driving, sometimes they just don't realize, like.
You go into a
for-
scene.
For instance, they may turn their lights on to get through. They can't do it if they're not responding to,
Right.
you know, and there's only certain crimes that you can respond to with lights and sirens.
Right.
But however, it could be a domestic in progress and they may call the sergeant or supervisor and say, can I bust through this light? Because it is physical, but it's not necessarily
life or death
meets
yet.
the criteria.
The one time I've seen that, I did that. I thought about all those scenarios and I asked, were there any calls?
Yeah.
Before I asked about their policy, I said, okay, now, is he allowed to do it? No, he's not.
We try to be fair.
Yeah.
Because that's what the world needs, people that are fair. You guys, you got business
Yeah,
to do.
you got crime to fight.
Y'all have a good
Thank
day.
you. Take care, stay safe.
Right now,
Very uncomfortable.
like I explained to you, you don't know personal circumstances.
Very uncomfortable right now. He's making me feel very uncomfortable. I feel very uncomfortable with this person coming up here. I feel like he's gonna threaten me. He's gonna threaten me right now. I don't want him around me. I don't want him around me. He's making me feel very uncomfortable. I'll let you guys know right now. Please don't let him back in this building. He's making me feel very uncomfortable.